Hi. So sometimes we have a requirement to web browse to our IP cameras for a number of reasons. For example, it could be we want to blank out an area of an image that perhaps where we've got the camera looking over into next door's garden a little bit, and we just want to give them privacy by blanking out a certain region. Or a second reason could be we've got a compatibility issue between NVR and the cameras, such as we might need to enable a protocol like OnVIF. They're just two simple basic times when we might want to web browse to a camera. There are many others as well. I'm going to show you here how to do that web browsing even if you've never used IP networking in the past. So I just want to explain a couple of basic things first of all. IP address ranges, right? Don't switch off. It's really straightforward. I just need to quickly explain a principle to you. See how in this typical home network we've got our router, our laptop, and we've got our CCTV recorder, the NVR here. And they're all connected onto the same network and the same network address range. What do I mean by network address range? The bit I'm talking about is, see this IP address here? Well, it's got two bits to it. It's got an address range and a device ID. So the network address range is the first three bits, 192.168.1. That is the address range, the network address range. The 36 is the device ID part. So the NVR's got a device ID of 36. The router here, also on the same address range, 192.168.1 with a device ID of 1. Then we've got our laptop. 192.168.1 is the address range with a device ID of 35. So they're all on the same network address range, and so they can all talk to each other. By the way, how do these device IDs get assigned? Automatically by the router, so you don't need to worry about it. Now, sticking on the subject of network address ranges, let's look at how the cameras are plugged in here. They're all plugged into the back of the NVR on a different network interface. And in this case, we can see their network address range is 192.168.0 for each of them. And then each camera has got a device ID, in this case of 22, 23, and 24. So basically, every IP address is broken into two segments. The network address range, those 3 bits, and then the device ID, the bits at the end, 22, 23, 24. So right now we can see that our laptop here has got a 192.168.1 range and the cameras are on a different range. So it's not going to be able to talk to the cameras. So what are we going to do about that? Well, the answer is fairly straightforward. We're basically, first of all, going to move our laptop and we're going to plug it into one of the camera ports of the NVR like we see here. So that's the first step. Second step, notice we still have a problem because the cameras, yes, their network address range 192.168.0 and the laptop 192.168.1. So that's going to present a problem because they're on different network address ranges. So we need to change the network address range such that it looks like we see here. 1 second. So that the laptop is on the same address range as the cameras. Now in my drawing, that's all well and good. That was really easy for me to do. Now I need to show you how to change a laptop in a proper Windows environment to show you how to basically get that on the same network address range as the cameras and then web browse. So really we only had to do 2 simple things. Move the laptop to being plugged into an NVR port and then get this IP address of the laptop to be on the same network address range as the cameras. Let's look now at the practical way that we do that. Okay, so now let's look at how on the laptop itself we're going to change this laptop from being a 1 network address range to a 0 network address range. So first of all, I'm going to hit the search button here and we're going to type in control panel. In fact, control's enough. You can see control panel. I'm going to select control panel. And then through all these settings here, we're going to select view network status and tasks. and then we're going to select change adapter settings. And here we can see a range of networks. There's my Wi-Fi network. It's not that one. It's not Bluetooth. It's this one here that says Ethernet. So we're going to right mouse click and we get this option at the bottom saying properties. And then we get another list, and this time we're going down to where it says Internet Protocol version 4. So we'll select that with the mouse and then select properties again. Now in this screen here you'll often see the tick box saying obtain an IP address automatically. If that's set, then change it to use the following IP address, and we're going to type in here the IP address that we want, and we know that's 192.168.0.35. Once we've done that, subnet mask needs completing. If you basically just click into the field, Windows will auto-fill that for you, and then hit OK. And that's all we need to do to set the IP address of the laptop to be on the same range as the cameras. So like we have just here. Now that we've done that, let's open up our favorite browser. In this case I'll use Chrome. And we can now just web browse to our camera. In this case, the one I've got set up is 192.168.0.81. And there we go. We're connected to the camera. I'm just going to put in the admin username. That's what it always is. I'll put in the password for this particular camera. There we go. And we can now see that I'm connected to the camera. In this case, we can now see a live view of the camera. Or we can go on configuration and we can now change things like the IP address of the camera, or in the camera itself we can click on image, do things like change the brightness, contrast, etc. Horizontal flip, vertical flip, so if you put the camera in upside down, that'd be a workaround for you. Privacy mask that I mentioned earlier, and so forth. So that really is how easy it is to configure your laptop to connect to the cameras, and you really didn't need to know much about IP addressing for that, did you?